Have you ever been around a game that's had this much, I guess, anticipation leading up to it, coming off last year? I mean, it seems like the whole state circled this one.
You know, I probably people on the outside have. You know, we around here, it's one game at a time. It's about us this week, so that's kind of been my focus. No disrespect intended to anything, just, you know, that's been my focus. So it's hard for me to look outside that. I kind of get the blinders on, and, you know, we're preparing to put together a plan to win a game.
Texas is 9th in sacks, 2nd in the nation at tackles for loss. So they like to get offenses in negative situations.
Right.
What do you see on film as to how they achieve that with their front seven?
Things I just spoke of. Really, it's you know, the scheme adds into it, because basically their pressure is in their front, how they align themselves, and then what they ask their people to do inside of that. So there's a lot of one-on-one opportunities that they create, and you have to, you know, they really force you to be good across the board with your blocking patterns at every position. You can't have a weak link. So they've done a nice job of, you know, creating those singles and taking advantage of them. That's what they've always done very well, because they have great athletes doing it.
How good is the front four?
They're very good. They're very good. It'll be the best front four we've seen going into this game this year. And they're really good. Very talented players.
The one time they did, I mean, their first loss to UCLA, that's an offense that likes to run and run the zone read, and Texas seemed to be unprepared for that. I mean, how much do you look at that film? Do you look at it a lot, or do you discount it?
No, we look at it, and we look like, but no different than we look at all of them, to be honest with you. UCLA is different in nature than we are. They did.
How so?
They're more of a pistol team, and because of that, their running philosophy is different than ours. There's not as much read game in theirs as there is in ours. You know, so do we look at it? Yeah, we looked at it and studied it, and, you know, they did obviously a very nice job, but you know, we know we're a little bit different than they are.
Shawn, you talked about putting on the blinders to all the outside distractions for this game. How hard has that been because of the way last year's Big 12 championship played out, the video, the wristbands? There were just so many factors. So can you just talk about, I guess, the difficulty of just shutting out?
You know, for me, it's not really hard at all. You know, honestly, it isn't. You know, it's you know, on the outside, you know that you have, these are the types of games that you coach for. You know, this is the type of game you want to be in. And there's more anticipation and excitement for it than anything else. And then, you know, you have a job to do, you know, and you're playing against a great defense with, you know, a defense coordinator who knows his business. So, you know, you don't have much time to get distracted on outside things. You really got to focus on your job. So it's easy for me because I have respect for them, respect for what, you know, what we're getting into, and more or less just bottom line respect for the game.
But your kids probably hear about it from every day in class. How did you notice?
You know, I tell you what, you know, yesterday's practice was outstanding. The guys did a great job, and they're, you know, I think they would probably agree with me that there's excitement and anticipation, but yet there's a real focus in their preparation because, again, the respect we have for Texas and the respect we have, you know, for the opportunity that we're getting ready to get into.
How has Taylor done personally at keeping the blinders on?
That dude has he has major blinders on. You guys know he runs from you. He doesn't want to talk to you because he doesn't want the distractions. You know, it's easy with him because he knows what he has to do. You know, I've said it, and I know it sounds kind of boring, but he just wants the ball and wants to play. You know, so he's focused at, you know, the task at hand and what he needs to do.
Do you think he runs danger, though, that he may try to do too much to try to make it?
No, that's my job to make sure he doesn't. You know, and I think he had a real clear message. That, you know, the growing. You know, I think one of the big turning points in his season thus far has been the South Dakota State game, when, you know, he tried to make things happen that just weren't there, and I think he really centered himself, and you know, he understands the value of taking what the defense gives and being a good decision maker in both the run and the pass.
When it comes to the growth of the quarterback, I imagine you probably have a list of mistakes you know that they're going to have to make in the course of the game before they learn from those. going back to that South Dakota State game, how much of a wealth of knowledge was that for him in learning just the gamut of things and things not to do or not how to do it?
Well, I think he experienced. You have to experience it. You can talk till you're blue in the face as a coach, but until a player experiences what you're talking about, they really don't grasp the reality of it. But once they experience it and understand then too how that impacts the team, then it becomes a conviction. So I think he learned a tremendous amount from that, and then he proved it against K-State, because I've told you guys the story. He told me Sunday after we had our film session after the South Dakota State game, he said, "I'll fix it." He fixed it.
Shawn, both coaching staffs are kind of downplaying the whole thing, that this is a big game. I mean, Mac Brown said that, Texas is just playing for a win. Nebraska is, they go on and play for a national title. What are your thoughts on Mac Brown and is what he's kind of talking about?
I think that's what good coaches do. I understand what Coach Brown's talking about. It's we're approaching it. It's our next game. We always talk to our players about it's about us, and it's about us taking care of us, and that's keeping our focus. Keeping our preparation. All the things that you have to do to win football games. Period. So business around here is business as usual. I mean, we don't make anything. We don't get too high or too low in any situations during the season. We just go back to work. And I think when you respect the game and you understand how this game really works, no matter what it is or who you're playing, that is a reality. You have to work every week to get what you earn.
Is it surprising to you at all how you guys have sort of been able to flip the script against Texas? Last year you went into the game, your offense struggled, their offense was really good, whereas this year their offense is struggling and your offense has been really good. Does that surprise you at all in such a short time?
No, it's a game of football. You go through transitions. Anytime that you transition into a new starting quarterback, or anytime you transition into multiple new starters, things like that happen. And then as you grow, whether it's during the course of a season or over a period of years, you become a pretty confident group, and you get some swagger, and you get some leadership that steps up. So I think that's what you see. We're a team that has offensively, we have some veteran players and guys that have been around and seen some hard times and understand the work ethic that you got to take. So that's what I would liken it to.
You talked about the respect, mutual respect between programs. With it potentially being the last matchup between Nebraska and Texas for a while. I mean, what's the significance of that?
I would imagine somewhere down the road we'll play them again, somewhere. I don't know where, obviously. So, honestly, it's this Saturday's game.
Anything else for Coach Watson?
Just one quick question about the K-State game. On Taylor's runs, were all of his yards by zone read, or what are some of the other plays he does?
No, there never are. We do multiple things. I would say, out of his touches, we have some design runs that obviously go to him without a read, and then obviously the zone read you spoke of, and then sometimes he'll take a run action pass, which is a perimeter pass, and he turned one of those into a big gain. I think about 17-yard gain, and then so he'll get it multiple ways. He's learned to use his feet as a check down in the passing game, which will be a way, the read game, which will be a way, and then design runs.
But the zone read is relatively new here. I've seen it a ton.
Well, it's been a 3-year project for us. We've got impeded last year due to injuries and some of the things we went through, but able to get back to it in the bowl game and really set our sights on. We had I personally had a real vision for our offense, and one that Bo shared too, and we're starting to scratch the surface and head in that direction right now. So, and it included obviously the read game.